Hello, welcome to this video series on data visualization in Python or with Python programming language. In this series of videos, we would be looking at Python matplotlib package, and I'd like to run you through the learning objectives as well as the learning outcomes quickly. Let's go through the learning objectives for the series of videos we'll be looking at. At the end of this series of videos, you will be able to implement various plotting techniques in Python's matplotlib package, distinguish between different types of graphs, understand how to best represent your data using a specific graph, and analyze and draw insights from graphs. And the video has been, or the series of videos have been structured as follows. We would begin with introduction to graphs and their various forms, plotting graphs, implementing or importing rather data and data preparation, bar graphs and pie charts, line graphs and scatter plots, and then we conclude. Alright, let's begin with the introduction. Data visualization is the process of representing data and information in a graphical format such as charts, maps, and diagrams. The objective of these visuals is to increase understanding of the underlying data, allowing patterns, trends, relationships, and outliers to be recognized more readily than an inspection of the raw data alone can provide. It interests you to know that in many situations, you have to present your data-driven findings and insights. But unfortunately, raw data are not well suited for this purpose. Hence, you need to have the skill that requires you to prepare the data for such visualization. We will be looking at how to present this data set using Python's graphing package, which is referred to as matplotlib, and we'll also look at the best way to determine how to best determine the visualization techniques to be used based on the data you are presented with. In data visualization, in the field or in the world of data visualization, there are several charts that are used to present some form of data set. And the choice of visualization actually affects what information that is being conveyed to the audience. In this series of videos, I'll be walking you through some of the most basic and useful reliable chart options. Here on my screen are some of the most popular charts that are being used for data visualization. Alright, we will touch on some of these charts in Python using Python code. Now let's begin with plotting graphs. In this section, you learn how to plot some of these charts in Python using matplotlib library, and we'll begin by importing some commonly used Python libraries. We've discussed libraries in the previous videos, and specifically we've talked about the NumPy and the pandas library. Okay, so here I have a comment saying import libraries. I'll begin by importing matplotlib.pyplot. So that is how to import matplotlib in Python, matplotlib.pyplot. So we will be importing this library using the alias plt. Okay, and this will be used for plotting the data. We'll also import NumPy as MP. This is for mathematical operations. and then we would import pandas as PD, which we use to load our CSV dataset. Please note that there are other types of datasets that can be imported using pandas. You can import Excel file, HTML, JSON, FWF, and so on. Okay, I will run this cell to import these libraries, and right now the library has been imported, or the libraries have been imported. So you can see that you have in one, but not out or no out, because we didn't call any function, or we've not called the libraries. The next section will be in getting in the data set we've imported. So we'll use the tips datasets. You can actually follow this link to find the datasets in Kaggle. The tips datasets, which contains customers' tip data collected over a period of 2.5 months in early 1990 from one restaurant by a food server. So we'll go ahead and import our data. I'll be importing it as df. So we have df equal to pd.read_csv, and in the bracket we have tips.csv. So please, when importing these data sets, ensure that the data set is located in the same, or placed or stored in the same location as where the Jupyter Notebook exists. I hope you understand that. So if you've created a folder in your documents and you created your Jupyter Notebook in that folder, then this data set that will be downloaded from the classroom has to be in the same folder. Alright, if not, when you try running this cell, you get some error. Okay, or the other way to solve that is, if your data is located in a different location, then you have to get the right directory to the data set. Get the path to the data set, and the path will be listed here. Okay, such as users, or C full column users. So if your data set is located, say, in a folder called datasets in document folder, then your path might look like this: C full colon user, C full colon / users, / documents / say datasets, and / tips.csv. So you can get the directory or the path to your datasets by going to the folder and then clicking on the path. So I think I should just show you that quickly. I'll go to File Explorer, and then, so this is tips, right? Let's get the location of this. Open file location. Now here is where tips folder, tip dataset is located. The tips dataset is located in the same directory as my Jupyter Notebooks. Okay, so if I want to get the path of this, I want to get the path, say it's not in the same location as my Jupyter Notebook or where the Jupyter Notebook is seated, I'll come over to this, address bar of my folder, right click and select copy address. Okay, right click, select copy address, and once you do that, you can then paste the address. Let me just insert a new cell, paste the address. So you can see the address. So the address has / users / user / documents, data files, Python for data analytics. Now, but this will change to /. You have to convert this to // for you to be able to import a data set. I wrap this within double or single quote. Okay, but to save yourself all the stress of getting this path, you simply save this. So you have to put / and tips, because that is the data set you want to import, right? Tips.csv. So to save yourself the stress of getting this path, you have to save your data set in the same location as where the Jupyter Notebook is seated. So now, since I have it in that form, I'll delete all of these. I do not need the path. I'll work directly with the data set, the name of the data set. I hope that explanation is clear enough. Now I'm using the variable called df to store my data sets. I'm reading it pd.read_csv tips.csv. Let's run this. Okay, so with this, our data set had been imported. Let's just view the head of the data sets. So I'm going to view the first five rows. So this is how our data set looks like, and you would see that the shape of df.shape is 244,7, which means that there are 244 rows and 7 columns. You can go ahead and count columns: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, excluding the index column. There are 7 columns and 244 rows. We have the total bill, the tip, sex, smoker, day, time, and size. Okay, so this is the total bill the bill that the customer, the customer's total bill for each day or each customer, and the tip that the customer gave after paying this bill, say to the attendant, then the sex or gender of the customer, and this column stores the information of the smoker habit of the customer. Do you smoke or not? No means no, the customer doesn't smoke. Yes, we mean the customer smokes. Then this is the day which the customer visited the restaurant, and here is the time, so the dinner, and size. So what will size be now? I think size will be the number of people who visited. I'm not so sure of what the size column will be. We'll check that later when we see. I hope I have data dictionary here. Okay, now that we've inspected, we've seen how the data frame or the data set looks like, and we have an idea of what the shape is. Let's begin with our data preparation procedure. Okay, of course I've viewed the head already. That is something that I did here. View head, and next I want to do some simple aggregation. I want to take the aggregation of the numeric columns, the total underscore bill, tip, and size. Take the sum of each of these columns. So I use the group by method or group by function, df.group by day. So I'm grouping by the day. So for each day, what was the total bill, what was the total tip, and what was the total size. That is exactly what this particular code is doing. So I called it title underscore day equal to df.group by day, and then I would like to see the aggregations for these 3 columns. I put them in the list and dot sum, which means I'm taking the sum of group the data and take the sum of data by the number of values for each day category. Okay, so when we run this cell, let's run this cell to see the output. The next line I called the variable name, which is title day. So with this output, you will see that for Friday we have this number for total bill, $325.88, I think $18, and total tip for Friday is 51.96, and the total size is 40. And Saturday, Sunday, and Thursday. So here is it, but this is not arranged in a specific order, not in ascending, neither is it arranged in descending order. Okay, now let's also go ahead and take weekday. So what I want to do in this case is I would like to sort values by total bills, because right now, as you can see, it's not sorted. We have the least come first, then the highest, and the next, and so let's sort values. So to sort it, I will call this data set, I'll call the sorted value week underscore day. So this is how one way to sort, right? So I say title underscore day dot bill total bill. So this is another way to access the particular column of interest. So I'm going to do this in 2 different ways. Okay, so if I say, let me just copy this line of code and then run this cell, run the code, so you understand what's happening right there. So when I do this, it means I'm trying to access the total bill column. Can you see? So this is one way to do that, using dot title of the column. The other way to achieve this same particular tax is to wrap this in a square bracket, and when you run this cell, you have total bill. Okay, sorry, I'm supposed to wrap this within a within quotes. Okay, so that's it. As you can see, these two codes are equivalent. Either you run it using this code or you run it exactly like this. So the two codes are equivalent. That is exactly what I'm trying to do. So when we say title_day in total bill, accessing the total bill column of the title_day table dot sort values, when I do this, the sort_values, let's see what happens before we run the cell above, so you understand what Python is actually doing. The sort values in open a close bracket. When we do this, what do you notice? So you can see that the values are sorted. You have the least to the largest, to the largest number, unlike the way it's presented here. Am I communicating? Okay, now that's exactly what this line of code is doing, is sorting it. And dot index. So that index means that we then take this sorted value and form an index with the sorted value. Okay, the index object is not callable. Okay, so that's exactly what's going to happen here. That's because here I try to call it. So if I use the dot total bill, let's see what happens there. The total bill underscore bill, the total underscore bill, the sort values. All right, so why this is happening is because we have to reassign it to, oh sorry, I'm trying to put a square bracket or bracket at the end, so it's actually not callable. The index b is not callable. So this is exactly what happens. So once we run this line of code, it takes the index of the data frame and put it into a list. So I have converted the index of the data frame into a list, but in a sorted order, from in an ascending order. Okay, that is what we call the weekday. So just take the index of this data set and put it in a list. So we have it in a list: Friday, Thursday, Sunday, and Saturday. This is actually a sorted order, and I want to create a list also of the bills. So the reason for doing this is because I want to present this in a chart. I have the weekday and I want the bill, right? So let's see what we will get when we run the second line of code. When you run the second line, so let's take it one after the other. I'm going to run total underscore day dot total bill. When you do this, you have the total day dot total bill, right? If we then say dot sort values, right? The sort values, we have it also in sorted order, but this time around the values is what you'll be picking, the values and not the day. Okay, so when we assign this to the variable name called bill, the bill contains the bill sorted value of the bills. So let's run this code, and once we do this, you won't see any output. Why? Because I have not called the variables. Okay, we have two variables: the weekday, which contains the list of the weekdays, and then we have the bill, which will contain a series of these bills. So what do we intend to do with these two data set, or these two lists? Okay, let me just go ahead and print bill. Well, if we print bill, this is what we'll see, just to see have idea of what is in the list, and that is exactly what we have here. Okay, we want to then create a bar chart. So we're going to create a bar chart using these two, the list and the series that we've already created from our data set, and that bar chart will be created in the second video. So this is how far we'll come, this is how far we'll go for in this the first part of the video series on introduction to data visualization. Okay, thank you very much for watching this. If you have any questions, please drop your questions in the comment section. Don't forget to like this video, share if you find it helpful, and feel free to hit the subscribe button in case you're yet to do so. Just subscribe to our YouTube channel for more interesting and educating video of this form. Alright, once more, welcome to Datafied YouTube channel, and I'll see you again in the next video where we'll talk about how to plot a bar chart using our data set. Thank you. See you again. Bye.